everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm John Anselmi. I'm the Education Officer, the Designated Learning Officer for New England Healthcare System. And I'm here to share with you an initiative that we had to bring scholarships to our employees within VISN 1 that were not already served by scholarships in other ways. So there's really 5 main points to what I want to share with you today. I'd like to tell you who we are, who I am, and then I'd like to tell you what we wanted to do, and then share with you some challenges that we had, and then I'd like to share you what actually happened, and then the results of the evaluation we had. So we, as I said, we are VA, New England Healthcare System. We are a combination of, we're made up of, comprised of 11 medical centers across 6 New England states: Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. Our 2 large tertiary hospitals are in Boston and Connecticut. And we're comprised of 14,000 employees, and we serve 240,000 veterans, which is our most important customer and is why we're here. And we usually includes 2.5 million outpatient visits. One thing I would like to share with you is the composition of the employee base. About 1/3 of our employees are veterans. I myself am a veteran. Of the 14,000 employees, roughly 7,900 of them have college degrees, and roughly 6,000 do not have a bachelor's degree or higher. So that's really the world that we're working in as we're trying to develop this initiative out. One thing too to kind of take a minute and discuss is the structure of the VA a little bit. We're considered to be, our system, our New England healthcare system, is one of the VISNs. So the way that the VA is structured is that hospitals roll under 18 VISNs across the country, one of 18 VISNs. And those VISNs report up to the Secretary of the VA through the operations piece of the VA. So that's kind of the top-down structure that's important for you to maybe understand a little bit. So what we wanted to do, again, we wanted to bring this scholarship initiative to our employees. And the reason is that we found that on our needs assessment surveys, that it was a constant request that people were asking for this. And in VISN 1, we've been focused on employee engagement and how we can meet employees' needs so that we can ultimately meet the needs of our veteran through service to our employees. So because that was such a request, we really struggled with how could we offer that. Well, it's difficult in any organization, but certainly in a government organization, to say you're going to pay for college. It's very expensive, and there's a lot of hurdles to get from here to there. But again, in order to improve the engagement of our employees, we felt it was essential. We just didn't quite know how to pull it off. So we struggled with that a little bit, but we knew that was something we wanted to do. So again, very difficult in the VA to do those kind of things. The fact is that it's a bureaucratic organization. It's political, and when you're working with taxpayer money, we have to be very careful with how we spend it, how it's utilized, and we have to show that it actually is going to be worthwhile to the veteran ultimately to spend that money. So some of the problems we had, some of the challenges that we had, were that currently within government and certainly within the VA. There's been some changes congressionally with hiring and firing and things like that that have created somewhat of a psychologically unsafe environment in some places. So we've been struggling with that. There's a feeling that if I swim outside the school of fish, so to speak, I'm bound to be eaten. So that was certainly one challenge that we had to overcome. The other one, as I said, was financing. If you're dealing with a college degree, how do you pay for those kind of costs? So the fear of mistakes, the groupthink around safety, all played into the challenges that we faced. So how do we start? So again, thinking of trying to work within the confines of the government system that we work within, we started, demonstrating that this was a need and tying it back to our organizational strategic initiatives of employee engagement. We worked hard to look around, and so at one conference that I happened to be at, the chief learning officer at EES, which stands for Employment Education Services within the VA, was there. And I approached him and shared with him the desire we had, which was to provide a certain part of our workforce with college scholarships. And he said, hey, we're working with College for America, Southern New Hampshire University, and you might want to approach them to see whether you could be one of the first pilots. So that was music to our ears. We definitely did that. So we contacted Southern New Hampshire University, College for America, and they said, yeah, we've been talking with VA and OPM for a while. We'd love to discuss this more. So that was kind of the ground floor, and that's really was the tipping point to moving us in the direction of being able to offer the scholarships that we currently offer. It wasn't over yet. The challenges were not quite over. We found that even with the backing of the chief learning officer from VA and the cost, which we found was only $3,000 a year, even with those positives, it still was difficult in our organization to move from we haven't ever done that to that's a good idea. We heard things like, well, this is unethical, and well, this doesn't sound like government. And on the this doesn't sound like government point, we had to agree it didn't sound like government. It was a program that was efficient, inexpensive, and could really meet the needs of our employees. So we felt that it was critical that we carry forth with the effort. So even in the face of some of the challenges that we had, we continued forth. So what we did is we discussed with College for America, and we worked with the designated learning officers from each one of the facilities, which is my colleagues in the DLO community and New England healthcare system. And the feeling was still overwhelmingly positive with them. Everybody wanted to go forward. So we had several summits. We built the policy memorandums of policies. We briefed Workforce Committee and the Executive Leadership Committee, who were behind the effort. Our network director was behind the effort. And so we realized that this was something that we wanted to integrate into the strategic initiative that had been ongoing with employee engagement within VISN 1. So some of the requirements for the successful pilot we found was top-down support. We had leadership support, and we had to obtain that. Without leadership support, you don't get funding, and you don't get resourcing, and you'll stall. So I mean, if the saying is that any organizational vision without funding is just an hallucination. So we wanted to avoid the hallucination and create a condition where the initiative could go forward. So we did get the top-down support through reporting through the committees and discussing with leadership. 2, internal advertising. So one thing that we found, quite frankly, that was a weakness in what we did is we realized at the end that the communication plan was critical. We didn't spend enough time up front in the construction of the communication plan and rolling out communication very effectively. So that would be one thing that I think I would highlight that we learned. We did complete a communication plan and roll it out. It worked fairly well, but I think it would have worked a lot better had we considered that right at the beginning. And then finally be the salesperson of the mission. And so we worked very hard to do that. Briefed anybody that would listen, talked to anybody about it that we could, and told them the power of the partnership that we had been working with in order to offer these scholarships to our employees. So the program offered through Southern New Hampshire University, I won't get into it too deep, but it's a project-based program. And so it is a college degree from a university and is accredited in exactly the same manner as Harvard up in the New England region. So both are accredited through the same accrediting bodies. So this is a fully functional college degree. However, you kind of have to get out of the mindset of the standard college degree of semesters and completing semesters in a 4-year degree, because this is work at your own pace, project-based. So our students, they go into the program, they're met with a coach, they get one-on-one tutoring in the program itself, and then they complete, as opposed to courses, they complete goals. And when they complete them, they move to the next goal. And so if you think of it, it's sort of akin to Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts with merit badges. You complete the merit badge. Once you complete the competencies to demonstrate you understand the merit badge needs, then you're granted that badge. And that's somewhat how I view the work within College for America. It's been very effective. Because they work all the time in teams. They present in teams. They write in teams. And so these are all the skills that we want to identify and support, and the College for America program does that. So what we found afterward in evaluating the program and evaluating how I was doing that is that we found that on the things that we wanted to measure, critical thinking, decision-making, confidence, presentation abilities, writing abilities, that it definitely moved the needle. The way we evaluated the program was we did a pre and post survey to the supervisors themselves. And so we asked the supervisors before the students started their college program what they saw from these people. And then at the end, we asked them the same question, and then we measured the delta. And again, we can see from the slides here is that we saw 100% increase in critical thinking, 90% increase in decision making, and 100% increase in confidence levels within the people that were in the program. Several of the other things we saw were presentation skills. Supervisors told us that presentation skills had improved, and that engagement of the employees in the organization had improved. One anecdotal thing I'll share is that I actually received an email from one of the students' wives who let me know how thankful she was that we had this program, because she saw improvement in her husband's interest at work. She said, "My husband goes to work. He's excited to go to work now." And that's the first time that she said she was able to say that in 15 years. So that was a powerful statement. We have many other anecdotal statements to that point too, along with the quantitative data that we have. So we're very happy with the way it's working out, and we plan to increase the program. So this is another statement of what one of the students said. We have people that are finishing the program that they start within 6 months. One gentleman started an associate's degree and finished his associate's degree in 6 months and is moving on to his bachelor's. So the program is powerful, it works, it's effective, and we're very happy to offer it within Vision One. And so thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.